Everybody. So as you can see, it's what time is it? It's like 9 something, and I'm watching the Democratic debate live on like CNN, which is like only channel that you can actually get over here. So as you can see, I'm in the hotel room. Got my bottle of what is this? Green coffee extract, Fit and Right Del Monte. And I'm watching these losers, these absolute fucking losers, talk shit about nothing, basically. It's like I've heard all this bullshit that these people are saying. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's disgusting what's happened in the Democratic and the Republican Party. Basically, Obama and Trump have created cults of personality. And the further you are away from being Obama or Trump, the further you are away from winning at this point. You know, these people are full of shit. Like they're full of rhetoric. They have no power to change anything. And the sad thing about it is, it's like it's so annoying just listening to them. I wish I was like one of these persons asking these questions. I wish like I was on that stage because I'd tell them up front. I'd be like, "You guys are all full of shit." And then you got Bernie Sanders up there. He's a fucking joke. Elizabeth Warren and Sanders up there making all these promises and everything that they can't possibly keep. Hey, Mission Flyer, what's up? Well, I'm coming back to America soon. I'll be flying business class on Filipino Airlines or Philippine Airlines, so I'm definitely going to make a video of that shit. Yeah, I guess, the thing about it is Trump has a better chance of winning than he does of losing simply because the people that they're bringing up to fight against him ain't shit. Tommy Banks, what's up? Yeah, so as you can see, I'm still in bed right here. Hey, Corey. How you doing, Corey? What's up? How many of you guys are watching these debates? Like, what do you think of them? How many of you guys are watching this shit? Yeah, well, here's the thing. While I'm over here in Southeast Asia, all I'm hearing about coming out of America is fucking murders. Like, I'm hearing about Baltimore murders. I'm hearing about this a California garlic fest or some shit, and people shooting that up with fucking AK-47s. I'm hearing about Brooklyn is rat infested. Because you got to understand, the only thing I can hear is what I see on CNN. Because in parts of Asia, we don't get like Fox and we don't get MSNBC unless you have like premium. What is it called? Unless you have like premium cable, you don't really get anything but CNN. So. All I'm hearing is fucking gun violence going on back home. You think I want to come back home? Shit, man. If I could, I'd stay right over here in Bali. Mississippi Walmart got shot up. How many people got killed in the Mississippi Walmart? I didn't hear about that yet. Apparently, Southeast Asia doesn't give a fuck about Walmart. How many people got killed in Walmart? It says, what's up with the weed stocks? Well, it really depends where you are and where you bought in. I mean, I wouldn't sell any of it, especially if I was down. I would just hold on to it. I usually hold long. People shooting up the damn Walmart. Mission Flyer. Well, as you know, these girls around here can be quite expensive. So the thing about it is there's parts of my trip that I decided that I was going to do solo. Because these girls are very expensive. All they do is fucking eat up all your food. Like you try to put all the food in that refrigerator, they just eat that shit up. And they sit around and talk and then eat more. Very expensive. But there's more than enough women here to go around. This place is filled with scooch. What does it say? How are you going to combat? So the question is, how are you going to combat the rise of white supremacy? Well, I think the first thing you need to do is get Trump out of office. After that, Facebook, Google, and YouTube, they'll do the rest. Oh, did I enjoy the scooch? Oh my goodness. I had some scooch not too long ago. And let me tell you something. If it's not for these Democratic debates right now, I'd be sleeping. Like I'd take another nap before I go out to the beach or the pool. Got some scooch. Where's my Jeep? My cars are back in America. MH 11. I'm not in America right now. Right now, I'm in Southeast Asia. I'm not in America. So right now, I have no cars right now. I'm in a hotel, as you can see. You see this air conditioner? I'm in a hotel. See this shit? Different hotel. The last hotel I was in the Philippines. It was called the Grass Residence. So right now, I'm in a hotel, as you can see. So I'm just, I'm trying to recover from all the scooch. I'm trying to recover. Let me tell you, I'm trying to recover. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Says, how can you convince African Americans that you should be the Democratic nominee? I don't even know this guy's name. You're not getting my vote, loser. You might as well just drop out the race now. I don't even know this guy's name. Drink a lot of water for the scooch. Ha ha ha. What do you say to the Trump voters who prioritize the economy over something else? What is this? The economy's bullshit, and everybody knows it. The simple fact of the matter is, the real estate market in America right now is under the control of China and India. The real estate market is bullshit. It's like the vast majority of college graduates, they're deep in debt. They can't afford cars. They can't afford houses. It's like they can't even afford rent. We traded the Genesis for the Cadillac. We traded the Genesis for the Cadillac XT5. If you would watch my videos, you'd know that we traded the Genesis for another Cadillac XT5. And I did a short video on the Cadillac XT5. Like, we had tested all these other cars. The Infiniti QX50 was bullshit. The Infiniti QX60 was bullshit. The Acura MDX I kind of liked. But the thing about it is I didn't like it. It wasn't that comfortable for me. Now, she could drive it, but it wasn't comfortable for me, so I felt we wanted something bigger. The Cadillac XT5 is ultimately what we went with. And as you also noticed, we also took a look at the Cadillac XT6. If I decide to trade in any of my work cars for my rideshare, it'll probably be Cadillac XT6s or Chevy Traverses that I buy to replace them. The thing about it is I like having good-looking cars in order to do the job because it's like Uber Black service. So my thing is it'll probably be the Cadillac. I like the Cadillac. Jaguar XGL, the Jaguar XJL. If you look at my videos, I actually did a video when I got a Jaguar XJL 2012. If you look through my old videos, it was a really nice car, but the Mercedes S-Class is better because the Mercedes S-Class has more interior space. Jaguar XJLs were designed by Ford, and those things were basically a luxury version of the MKS Lincoln. And the thing about it is it was too tight. The fucking headroom in that car was just not good enough. In the Mercedes S-Class, I can sit straight up. In the Jaguar XJL, the headroom is poor because the doors are narrow. So personally, if I had it to do all over again, I never would have bought a Jaguar XJL. But they enjoyed it for the time we had it. But my only problem is it was just a high-end, it felt like a high-end Ford product. The Mercedes S-Class and the BMW 7 are probably the better cars, but the Mercedes S-Class is easily the best car. The fuck are you talking about? The Civil War? What are you talking about? Who is this? I think she's talking about reparations. JG Ghost, yes, I did drive the Urus. Yes, I did. So the question that you're going to ask me is, how did I feel about the Urus? Well, first of all, the problem with the Urus is nothing but an rebadged Audi. And it's exactly an Audi Q8, but it has a Lamborghini badge on it, and it's got a couple of cute things in it that look like Lamborghini stuff. The problem with the Urus is that if I tell you that I don't like the Urus, the first thing somebody's going to say is, oh, it's because you can't afford the Urus. Being perfectly honest, I would never spend the kind of money on the Urus that they want right now. It'll get cheaper later because Uruses, when they come back used, they're going to lose a lot of their value. Thing about it is the Jeep Trackhawk is easily the best SUV for speed performance that I've ever driven. It's big, it's fucking fast as fuck, and it's more practical. Urus, as far as I'm concerned, it's just it's an Audi rebadge. That's all it really is. Now, maybe when they redesign that car, they'll make it more Lamborghini and less Audi, but right now it's just an Audi. You paid $10,000 over MSRP for a Urus, so you have a Urus. The Urus has a twin turbo lag that I'm not really excited about. Oh, your dad did. Okay, so well, listen. If your dad bought a Urus, that's cool because I know the Urus is gonna sell really well because the Urus is like the first Lamborghini that anybody can actually fit in. What's wrong with this internet? Yeah, I'm sorry if the signal's cutting out because as I keep trying to tell you, here in Asia, it's like the Wi-Fi sucks, and I'm trying to upload to YouTube. Doing live YouTube feeds is not an easy thing. It's it's like raining outside. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So whatever. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. So I'm just sitting here watching this Democratic bullshit debate, these losers, and it's like I'm gonna go out later and everything after I rest off. But it's like I would say that I'm ready to come back to America, but to tell you the God's honest truth, I'm not. But I'm gonna be back eventually. I'm gonna be back by next week. You want to get rid of the Hellcat for C8? Well, Mission Flyer, what do you think? How Mission Flyer? I want you to just think about it like this: how excited are you gonna be to have a C8 when everybody else has one? That's the problem with the Hellcat. Everybody could get Hellcats because of the leasing. If Hellcats were treated as expensive as they actually are, though, I mean, a Hellcat is a $75,000 to $80,000 car that basically costs you $1,000, possibly $1,200 per month. But when they started leasing Hellcats, everybody got them. Now you're going to have GM doing their GM leasing on the C8, and you're going to have all of these middle-aged crisis dads rolling around like they're in fucking Lamborghini Huracans. And the streets are gonna be ridiculous. You're gonna have everybody in one of these stupid C8s or one of these Mustang GT 500s. It's like, me personally, I mean, you do what you want. What new Durango Hellcat? I didn't know the Durango was getting a Hellcat engine because I really haven't seen much Mopar news while I'm over here in Asia. I mean, it's obvious that the Durango should get the Hellcat engine, but I think they're having a lot of trouble moving Durangos that have just the SRT 392 engine because they're so expensive. You got to understand, most people who buy a Durango are families who don't want to drive around in a minivan. They just want something that looks exciting and that looks powerful and everything. The last thing they want is a minivan. Minivans are for people who just don't care what other people think about them. So, okay, fine. If Durango has a Hellcat engine, which they should have had it and announced a long time ago, that's $5,000. You can bet that Durango Hellcat will be no less than $80,000. But without that engine and those options, the Durango is only like a 39 to 45 or something like that $1,000 car. So like you figure if the Durango is like a $45,000 car and they're marking it up $40,000, I mean, yeah, that's just it. Anybody who has the money will buy it, and most people are not. Most people won't buy it because it's just too expensive. It's just like the Jeep Trackhawk. The Jeep Trackhawk doesn't look especially exciting, but it is a really powerful SUV and it's very fast. The thing about the Durango, which is funny, is the Durango 392 looks better than the Jeep Trackhawk does because they have better body options. So it's like there's a lot going on in the car game for the month of July because of Corvette releasing that C8 information. I will tell you right now, one of the things that I expect to happen with the C8 is I expect there's going to be a lot of engine fires. And most people will be like, what? Why would you say something like that? One of the reasons why cars don't have natural aspirated rear engines is because there's not enough airflow. And that's also the reason why there's not a lot of twin turbo cars that have rear engines, because the airflow is poor, especially when the car is at idle. And the thing about it is you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to get C8s, and they're going to try to put twin turbos in those cars, or they're going to try to supercharge those engines. And I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of engine fires. The Corvette and the Mustang are already very light and overpowered cars. That's why you see them get into so many accidents. Meanwhile, the Dodge Hellcats have very heavy. Hellcats have very heavy steering, and they have very heavy front ends, and that helps to control them so that they don't spin out like Mustangs and they don't spin out like Corvettes do. But once these guys get their hands on that C8 and they start modding those things, because the problem is, when they buy a car like that, that car's not going to be an exotic car at all. Everybody's going to be able to buy that car at $60,000 and $70,000. Everybody's going to get it. And once everybody gets it, it's not going to be that exciting anymore, because you think somebody's going to want to do is they'll be like, oh, I need more power. So they're going to start putting superchargers and twin turbos in those cars. And those cars are good. I tell you, you're going to have so many engine fires out of those cars. I can see it already. I can see it already. Am I excited for the C8? Absolutely not. It's a car I would never buy. I probably won't be able to fit into it because they keep making these small-ass little bullshit cars. That's the reason why Dodge is kicking everybody's ass with the Hellcats, because the Hellcat Charger, Challenger, the 392 Charger Challenger, the Jeep SRT, the Trackhawk, it's like Dodge Chrysler made big cars that are powerful. That's the reason why they're kicking everybody's ass in sales. Nobody else is moving large cars the way Dodge and Chrysler are moving large cars. There's just nobody else, because everybody else wants to make things that are less powerful and less exciting. Even Hyundai makes a great Genesis and they make a great G90, but those cars don't move in the numbers that Chargers and Challengers move, because they're exciting. It's like people are willing to deal with lower quality in the FCA cars than they are with, companies who are making slightly better quality cars that are boring. Nobody wants no fucking Acura RLX. Those things are boring. It's so funny. When you start talking about Dodge cars, somebody always is like, hey, yeah, well, Toyota's got a Supra. Nobody wants that shit. That shit is boring and it costs too much. A fucking $50,000 BMW Z4 bullshit Supra. Nobody wants that shit. The only people who want that shit are little children who think it's cool. It's not cool. And Paul Walker fans who haven't gotten over the fact that he was roasted like French toast in that car. It's like, who the fuck wants one of those? Well, I mean, he died in a Porsche. But that's another thing. Porsche doesn't move like Dodge moves cars. Those little fucking cute 911s. Oh, look at me, I got a cute 911. Nobody wants that bullshit. The only people who want that bullshit are people who are Europeans and they actually think that Porsche is cool. It's like, Porsche is boring. It's like, have you ever priced a Porsche? Like, I looked at the new Panamera. That thing is like damn near $200,000 and it's slow as fuck. I could just buy a Mercedes for $100,000. $120,000, you get like an E-Class AMG. Blow the doors off one of them stupid Porsches. What are you kidding? $200,000 for that Panamera? Fuck that. It's like, that's stupid. It's like the car game right now is boring. I'm just sorry. It's just boring. Maybe that's because I feel like I'm at the top of the mountaintop. Because when you have a Jeep SRT or you have a Hellcat, it's like Ford people can't argue with you. The reason why these GM people keep talking about the Corvette is because the CTS-V is too slow and too expensive, and the ZL1 is too slow. And the thing about it is, everybody, when you start talking about how great Hellcat is, All of a sudden, they want to talk about Corvettes because they can't use anything else GM makes as an argument. GM only has like 3 fast cars. They gave up on the SS. So they only have like 3 fast cars: the CTSV, the ZL1. Both of them get their asses kicked by the Hellcat. And then you've got this C8 that hasn't come out yet. The C7, is fast simply because it's a light Corvette. But the thing about it is, it's like their cars are boring. The fucking Impala doesn't even have all-wheel drive. That's boring. The Z06 is going to be 1,000 horsepower. Okay, great. But guess what? Dodge already has 1,000 horsepower Elephant engine. Now, can you imagine what's going to happen when they put that fucking engine in like a Charger or a Challenger? You're going to have 1,000 horsepower Challenger or Charger, and that shit's going to have a warranty on it? That's exciting. I hope Dodge Chrysler comes out. I hope they say, yeah, guess what? Fuck Bugatti. We got a 1,500 horsepower Hemi. 1,500 bitches. Like whatever Bugatti has right now, Dodge should come out and say, yeah, we've got 10 more horsepower than that. The Dodge is hilarious. They're selling you a fucking V8 with ancient, obsolete technology, and that shit is faster than just about everything else that's brand new. Because the Germans keep downsizing their shit little engines. It's like they keep downsizing and they keep putting like electronic assist on everything to make it cool. It's not. It's boring. It's just like the BMW i8. You have to be a total poser to buy one of those. I mean, look at my doors. My doors go up like gull wings. I got Falcon wing doors. That shit is boring. You got a little fucking 4-cylinder engine in the back with an electric motor. Fuck out of here. It's just sad. The car game is so boring. That's one of the reasons why it's like I go to these car meets now. I'm just bored. It's like it's easier for me to spend money on vacations and have fun than it is to do car mods. Here I am. I'm 10,000 miles away from you watching Elizabeth Warren talk shit. 10,000 miles away, far away from the American gun violence and far away from all of the Walmarts that are being shot up. This DNC debate is disgusting. I don't know. Can people hear me? Because I don't even know. Like I see the timers counting 23 minutes, but I just gotta make sure everybody is still tuned in. I don't even know. I'll probably end the stream in about 7 minutes. Oh man, I can't wait to hit the beach. Hit the beach later. Could be so cool. Yep. Who the fuck is this guy? I don't even know who these people are. These guys are such losers. These guys are losers. Yeah, GM modernization. They're just going to make a bunch of electric shit boxes. More Chevy Volts and Bolts. We can barely fit in that shit. It's too small. Boring. Oh, well. I just had, see, that's the sad thing. I got to do live feeds because it's so hard to upload videos from Southeast Asia. But when I get home, I'll upload more videos. If I'm lucky, there'll be some car shows in August I can go to. But I'm waiting for I'm waiting for Dodge's new line of products because to tell you the truth, it's like right now, it's like everybody was talking about the wide body Charger, and then that hype went down a little bit because of GM announcing the C8. So I want Dodge Chrysler, they have to put out new products soon, or they at least have to tell you that they have new products ready and coming, because right now the car game's boring. It's like unless you're buying these exotic cars like McLarens and the Lamborghinis and shit, it's like nobody can really afford that stuff. It's like, people can buy it and they're leasing them all. They're not financing any of this shit. Everything's a lease. And that stuff goes back after about 7,000 miles. This guy's got $65 million. What the fuck are you doing there? Elizabeth Warren's looking at him like, yeah, I got him now. Ha ha ha! He's got $65 million. He doesn't speak for the poor people. I got him. Elizabeth Warren, she's like waiting. She's just so waiting to jump on his ass. It's like that's the reason the Democrats ain't shit. That's the reason they ain't shit. It's like nobody wants to be poor and nobody shares their money. It's like the Republicans, they picked the worst person they could possibly find, a bankrupt. I don't even know if Trump's really a billionaire because the problem is his net assets are probably below zero because of the bankruptcies. So the thing about it is it's like the Republicans pick a stingy bankrupt fucker who doesn't pay people who do work for him. And that's the reason why Trump could never win in New York, because nobody here likes him. He owes people money. He's bankrupt so many times. It's like he owes these developers money. He puts his name on buildings to make you think he owns the buildings. It's funny because I was hearing that shit back in the 80s when Trump was a big name, a big brand name. I had teachers who would tell us, be like, yo, wait a minute, he doesn't own that building. That's his name is on the building, but he doesn't own it. They were putting that shit in our minds from the time we were kids that Trump was going to be fucking president. They even had that shit on The Simpsons. Simpsons was convinced about that shit because anybody who's that loud and pompous, you assume is going to run for the presidency. I mean, for God's sakes, they're talking about fucking like all these business people running for the presidency because they have a name. Steve Jobs could have run for president, he would have won, but he's dead now. If everybody knows your name, it's easy to run because they've basically been programmed to vote for you. It's called brand identification or recognition for later actualization. The other word they use is brand implementation. Like if you watch the movie Super Size Me, you'd know that. Yeah, but anyway, I'm about to end this stream. I just had to do a check-in just to let y'all know that I'm doing fine. I'm still here in Southeast Asia because the last thing I want people to do is look at my channel and be like, hey, whatever happened to Big Truck? Like, Big Truck's on vacation. See, I don't do them little bullshit American vacations where you go someplace for 2 weeks. My vacations are months long. That's how it is. That's when you're the businessman. Look at that. Businessman, yeah. I'm going to be flying on Filipino Airlines business class after I leave here. Flying business class. I'm going to do a video on business class. Yay! Yay! Wee! Oh, shit. It's like I need a vacation from the vacation. I mean, when you've been laying this low and chilling this hard, it's like you need a vacation from the vacation. It's like I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna go to sleep from the jet lag. I'm not gonna do shit. You gotta understand. Right now, for me, it's like the beginning of the day, but for you guys back home, it's nighttime. You're supposed to be asleep. It's like my jet lag is gonna be insane. I'm not gonna be able to do shit for like the first week. I have to readjust. Dude, a free college thing is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You can't do free college because the colleges, if you start subsidizing the colleges will suck the government dry, just like the public schools. And even when you try to cut back on public schools, all you do is make the public schools worse, and then they collapse. Because that's what's called a recession. Things start to grow and then they start to recede. When the schools start to recede, these kids go fucking nuts. You can't start this shit. These guys have no chance of winning because all they're talking about is freebies. You got 2 generations of indebted Americans to the colleges, student loans, to the banks, basically to China and to India, the multinational banks. It's like that shit ain't happening. They're talking about free college. Should student loans debt be forgiven? Yeah, I'd like to see you try to wipe $2 trillion off the books, because that's where it's going to be very soon. It's like 1.7 trillion right now. It's going to be 2 trillion within like 2 or 3 years. It's like You ain't wiping $2 trillion off the books. It's just not happening. Sorry, Sanders. You can forget it. Democrat debates. This is a joke. I wish I was there because I could make it more exciting. These people are boring. These people are boring. 100,000 people sleeping out on the streets. Oh my God. Their fair share. I love it when they use these bullshit words like fair share and middle class and filthy rich. When they use these words, the first thing somebody should do is like, wait, shut the fuck up. Stop. Explain what you mean by middle class. Does any of you even know what the bracket is that makes you middle class? Does anybody even know what the net assets are that make you middle class? Does anybody know what the bracket is to be considered filthy rich? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know what the bracket is to be considered poor? Supposedly, if you're poor, that means that you're below the federal minimum poverty line, which puts you below like $30,000 income for like a 4-person family per year or something like that. It's called the federal minimum income poverty level. It's like nobody knows what middle class means. I always thought that shit meant that you make like $50,000 or something. And then I started making $50,000, but I live in New York City. And